trouble with Scotland is that it's full of Scots.
things look bad, and it looks like you're not gonna make it, then you gotta get mean. I mean plumb mad dog mean. Because if you lose your head and you give up, then you neither live nor win. That's just the way it is.
The trouble with Scotland is that it's full of Scots.
Your assignment tonight is strategic. You can't give the enemy a break. Send them to hell.
No bar, no pinball machines, no bowling alleys, just pool. Nothing else.
Yes, you'll need to forgive me, guys, because I've totally forgotten how my buttons work because I haven't been streaming for a couple of weeks. Welcome, everybody, to VP4 TV. This is, well, I was going to say the start of the Virtual 9-Ball World Championships, but it's already started. It's well underway. This is going to be my first match that I've streamed this year, and it's a round 2 match between LS3 from the UK and LINUS. Welcome to Bill, Tommy, Semi-Pro, and anybody else that's there. Yeah, I'm feeling a bit better, Bill, because I'll tell you why. The main reason is most of what's been lying in my lungs has cleared out, and I've managed to get 2 nights in a row where I've had a full night's sleep. But prior to that, I had to get out of my bed and just go down and sit in a chair. So I was sitting upright. That way I could get some sleep. But as soon as I've always had this. Whenever I get either a cold or a chest infection, and it builds up, all the mucus and everything builds up inside, and then it has to be cleared out in the morning. But when I go to bed at night, that's when it gets worse because everything lies in my chest. And of course, I can't sleep. As soon as I lie back, I start coughing constantly, non-stop, all night, no sleep. So I haven't been in a fit condition to do any of this. This room is about to go up, by the way, before I start ranting and raving. I notice Bedhead managed to scrape through against Shibo. A good result for Bedhead to get through that one. Shibo must have done well to stay with him, but I think that this break box is maybe going to cause problems for players trying to find a break. There might be a whole plethora of dry breaks coming up in it. I haven't watched enough of anything to come to that conclusion, but my guess is that players are going to struggle to find regular balls in the break. I don't know whether that's going to be any more or less than what it was previously, but players are probably going to try and work something out and see if they can get any joy on it. That remains to be seen. So, welcome to Spectre Dawn. Welcome anybody else that's there. The room is up. I don't know whether the cloth colour's at the right colour. I haven't a foggiest idea, but I'm about to find out. No, it isn't. And we're waiting LS3's queue loading as well. Where are we? Miscellaneous. Default colour. Blue. So, race to 19. Did I have this on the tournament page? Yes, we have. So, Bedhead now plays Jose in round 2. Bill plays Albinario. 6:30, whatever date that is, the 24th. We've got a number of buys as well. I can't remember how many players were in this at the end of it, about 44 or something, 40 odd or something signed up. Snake Eyes plays Quagmire early in the morning. Larry had a buy, he's waiting to play the winner of that match. Roshin has beaten Popman. I don't know what level that player plays at, but obviously must have played a lot better than Popman. They beat him 19-6. So we're going to have to get a look at this guy or girl, whoever he or she is, or wherever they're from, to get an assessment of what level they're at. Graysley is going to play them in round 2, and their match is already arranged. I think there's about 7 matches arranged. Still Mr. Fox and Interchange X to play in the first round. Cobra waits in the winner of that one. This is a match that's underway at the moment, probably just lagged off. Billy Big Rigger and Spectre Dawn. When's that? That's the other match I'm going to do tonight. Billy Big Rigger and Spectre Dawn. I think that one's tonight, because obviously I'm on my days off now. I finish my work today. I don't go back till Friday. Stubb had a bye, and he will play the winner of that match, so that's going to be a good round 2 match. Excuse me, whatever happens. Chico plays Ice Age, and the winner of that one plays Chimpy, who got a bye. Sergresh is through to round 2. He beat Viking 19-7, and he will, in fact, tell a lie. That's already a match I missed that one. One Pocket Slim. In fact, I think I went in and looked at the start. No, did I? I can't remember. One Pocket Slim's through to round 3. He beat Sergresh 19-9. Eloquentis through to round 2. He beat Little 19-9. Polka Bauta got a bye, and he will play him in round 2. Lard beat Simanx 19-16, and he will play Brainful out. Round 1 match, Bankster and Jover. I think that's maybe later on today. And then we've got Bav again. No, sorry, Bav's waiting the winner of that one. Sargo beat, who's that? Lochstar 19-13 in round 1. The winner, and Sargo plays Hazad, and Rabbi plays Bobby Barris. Rabbi got through 19-6 against Christian. We've got Tommy against Nick, whoever Nick is, and wherever they'll show up, I don't know. Tommy might end up getting a bye there. I don't know whether this Nick guy will know how this works. That's always a worry with names that you've never seen before in these NRT tournaments. They sign up, get all excited, and then you never see them. The winner of that match will play semi-pro. So That's us as up to date as we're going to get now. At the moment, we're in the first rack. LS3 is going to have to pull off a cut down the rail here, and should be on the 9 ball. Got to watch this cue ball though. Yeah, I think she was worried about cracking over to that side pocket there. So LS3 won the lag because she's got the little dot next to her name. Good afternoon to Albinario. Well, a ball in the break. Now this shot here, LS3 is going to have to get well into the cue ball. I mean, anywhere in that top half of the table will probably do, but she's got to get right into the cue ball unless she's planning on leaving a 3-9 combo. I wouldn't think so though. That'll do. Well, it'll do from the point of view that she can take a straight 3 ball, but it might be worth cutting this into the side and dropping down for the 5 because, you know, going forward, you just got to be careful you don't run too far onto that 6 ball. That's fine. Now, as far as LINUS goes, I don't think many of you guys will know about LINUS either because I don't know really what LINUS's game is. I do know that he plays a bit of cowboy because I've played cowboy doubles with him on my days off in the mornings. And I don't know what level he's at as far as a sort of general pool game is concerned, but at some point we're going to get to see that. Nick was a VP3 player. I must have changed the name then. I don't remember that name. Welcome to Hairpig. Well, this is a good solid start for LS3. Nixana. Oh God, I remember that one. I remember Nixana. I always thought that was Nixana not a bit of a nutcase though? Or am I mixing them up with somebody else? Well, here's my little friend back. So the first scratch, now Linus with ball in hand, we can see he's got an immediate problem. The 2 ball does go past the 9, and well, that wasn't as planned. In fact, he might even be hooked now. Yeah. Now, try and get in behind that 7. Didn't get it. Did he hit the 9? I never even noticed. Now this might be a bit straight. Let's have a look. No, there's a slight angle. That's a good enough angle. Now the Welsh Open Snooker is on this afternoon, so I'm missing that to do this. Yeah, I thought he was a bit of a nutcase. I think that was the one thing I remember about Nick Sana. Well, so far, Linus has had one visit to the table in these first 3 racks. And not getting shape off his first pot cost him rack number 3. And again, LS3, couple of balls in the break. What went? The 2 and the 8 have gone. And, well, yeah, I'll say this 100 times during this tournament. This rack should be out. Now, this needs just a little stun. Get up the table. And the 5 ball clearly goes past the 7. So where's the problem on this table? It should be 4-0. Well, that used all of the pocket. Well, I think the important thing for Linus is when he gets another chance, which he will do at some point, and he's got it right now, albeit he hasn't got really a shot, and he might get desperate and have a blasty cut at this 5 ball and scratch the side. Now that needs to get to the rail. Going for the safety. Well, I suppose this is still cuttable with a jump shot, this 5 ball. Well, there you go. That's why the 5 ball had to get to the rail, Linus. Well, this is a bit straight, but all you do is just drop through, take the 9 into the side. You keep everything simple. So the unfortunate thing there for Linus was he wasn't left an easy start. You know, those last 4 balls, had he been on that 5 ball, that might have got him settled to get the first rack in the board. But he's not going to get anything handed in the plate, so he's not got to get desperate. That's the one thing you can't do early on. 4-0's nothing. But what does matter is that when you do get in and you do have an open table, that you find your way out. Well, that's another good jump shot. And again, this table has to be run out. There isn't a problem anywhere. The only thing is leave the angle in the 4 ball. That's all you're looking for here. Needs to miss the 7. Well, hasn't missed it, but it hasn't done any harm either. Well, that's where you just don't want to be. You just don't want to be stuck in the rail. Had that ball been out off the rail, it gives you much better control over the cue ball, but it just means it's going to be a long 9 ball. So it's 5-0, which puts even more emphasis on Linus when he does get something that gives him a straightforward pot and a chance at the table. It just makes it more important that he makes the use of it when he does. So another ball in the break for LS3. I think she's had a ball in every break so far, apart from the scratch. Was that right? Probably. And that's in all the way. I don't think she's on the 2 though. That might bank that 2 ball. I think it will bank. That looks pretty good for a bank to me. Oh no. Couldn't get the cue ball out of the way, and a scratch. So this is exactly what I was talking about. Here's a table that is wide open with ball in hand. Now, if you can't get yourself out here, Linus, then I think you can rest assured you're already heading to the 1-loss side. It's tables like this that in this tournament you simply must put away. You cannot be faffing about and not getting position. Now it wouldn't if you see that. I don't know whether he had enough angle to actually draw into the 9 ball there, and he's actually missed a straight in 4. Now my idea would have been if I had the angle, I'd have drawn the cue ball into the 9 to play that ball into the side, make it much easier to get good on the 4 ball. And that was not a good sign there for Linus. And he hasn't got out. And I think, agreeing with some of the guys in the chat, I think his fate's already sealed. Like I say, you cannot rely on LS3 giving handouts. He might get the odd rack pinched that way, but you've got to start making things work for yourself. And with a wide open table that he's had there, that's a fail. But I don't think the first shot he played was correct. I think I'd have much more likely used that 9 ball to bump into the 9 and hold the cue ball. Now, of course, when you're in Linus's position, all that's going through your mind is when am I going to get the first rack in the board? And that's going. Is it going to hold? It has held. Excuse me. I'm going to have to mute myself. I don't want to have coughing fits on the stream. Welcome to Dwight. Yes, I'm still alive. Barely. So another ball in the break, couple of balls in the break, 5 and 6. One goes into the side, table's wide open. Now, you can play this with a bit of right hand side and just let the cue ball bump down to the bottom rail. Just to square it up. although it might be a bit too square. It's a bit straight. Let's have a look. Yeah, it is a bit straight. Well, I think just drop this in dead weight, let the cue ball run out. Well, she's jacking up to drag the pace off the cue ball. You can just let it run out gentle enough. Well, let's just say she's got an angle to get to the 8 ball. Yeah, I've been out the loop for a couple of weeks here, Pig. I've had man flu that led to a chest infection. I've had plenty of these over the years, and depending how bad it gets, it just takes that bit longer to recover. So 7-0. So LS3, I don't know whether she's been breaking right from the centre all the way through, but she's pretty much on the centred line. And another ball in the break. That cue ball's getting bumped. Tell a lie, it's not the cue ball, it's a 9 ball. Well, it's a 6-9 combo, which is pretty much unmissable. So that's where this rack's going to be decided. And I wouldn't think the LS3 would want to be interfering with that 6 ball. Stubbs arrived in the room. Well, you might see her dragging the cue ball off this 2 ball as well. Or is she just going to stun it? No, she is going to drag it off it. See, that the only problem with that is she didn't. If you're going to drag it off it, then you needed a bit of bottom right English to check the cue ball when it hit that top rail. See, that cue ball's just had bottom on it. It didn't have the right English to check it, and the cue ball's leaked away. So now she's left herself a more difficult cut in this 3 ball. Not a problem. Now again, I think she's perfectly okay as far as the pot goes, and should be making sure she's not going to run over into the 6, because I don't think you really want to touch that 6 ball. Now, well, this time she's not got away with it, and Linus has to have already looked at that 6 ball. So his objective here with this opportunity is bring the cue ball over this side. Watch the side pocket, he's fine. Now, like I said earlier, this is unmissable. There's no way on earth you should ever miss this 6-9 combo to get off the mark. Now, that went wrong for LS3 with the shot she played on. Was it the 2 ball into the side? And it went wrong for the reasons I said. She did drag the pace off the cue ball, but she didn't check the cue ball, and that just left it leak away and created a problem for herself. So little technical things like that. With the cue ball, had the cue ball control been better on that shot, she'd have been much better on the 3, and there wouldn't have been any problem. But it gives Linus his first rack on the board. Well, I think this is this just going to be a gentle roll to the rail. I think you take your medicine here and just do that. Or is she trying to get down the table? Well, she got the angle. Six ball goes past the 9, no problem. So it looks as if everything's back to normal here for LS3. Right. She was slightly to the left of that diamond, and that's where she's sticking. Just off centre. Well, this time it's dry. And LINUS, let's have a look behind the shot. This is not great. Well, LS3 can, I think, see enough of the 1 to cut it and bump the 5. And she'll be hoping she hits this 5 ball full in the face. And that way it'll hold her for the 2. Now she's glanced the 5, but didn't get the first part of the shot. So LINUS has got another opportunity here. Now I don't think that's what was planned, but I would have actually run up the table into the open space there, because that's no good. Now, unless you're trying some sort of far-fetched long 2-5 combo, then you've got to look to duck for cover here somewhere. If it bumps and spins behind the 5, that'll do it. 9 ball comes to the rescue. It's an easy hit on the 2 ball though. Well, easy enough, but LS3's missed it, and again LINUS has ball in hand, and they're all there. Now, what I'm wondering is what level is LINUS thinking about his next shot? Because the first 2 shots aren't a problem. Here's the first one. He needs to get the cue ball out, which he has done. And again, with this one, you don't want to hook yourself behind the 9. You want to get out of the way of the 9. And now this is a draw down past the 9. Needs an angle though. Straight's no good. I think he can. You've got to really get the spin working here. That'll do it. So again, with this shot, not a problem. Just get yourself up to here so that you're looking at a straightish 9 ball. Could have done with getting himself a wee bit further up the table. But that, well, it's more or less a run out there for LINUS to get his second rack on the board. He's breaking from the right, the extreme right corner. Cue ball's coming back. I don't know whether he got any ball in the break. His other break he had, I don't think he did, but he's dry here as well. Now is LS3 going to just have an old Capo 1-9 combo here? Give it a blast. Chance your arm. And well, that's gifted Linus another ball in hand here. And again, they're all there. Now, well, I don't like this rolling through business here. To me, I would have took that up top and stunned out for the 3. But that'll do though. Now again, where do you go with the cue ball? Are you going to be punching this 5 ball up table and drawing back for the 6? You see he's gone inside the 5. That's no good. Got to get into the cue ball. You see now he's trying to pinch a bit there, and there goes the end of the visit. You know, little things can suddenly make mountains out of molehills when you just don't get that cue ball in the right spot. All created by himself though. And again, it's a table that if you're going to be in any sort of contention in this tournament, you have to be running these tables. You know, these are meat and drink for a lot of the other guys in this tournament. If you ain't making the mark, then you're only making up the numbers. That'll do nicely. Well, it looks as if Linus is just going to be getting the bits and pieces out of this match. You know, any mistakes or scratches from LS3, Linus may or may not take advantage of them. And at best, he might end up getting half a dozen racks. Well, that's another dry one. And once again, I'm looking for where the problems are in this table. Well, the first problem is the 2 and the 8. And again, this is not going to be much good. And being stuck to the bottom rail isn't much better either, but he can try and get across. He needs to avoid the 5, try and get in behind that 4 and 6. And the 4 ball, it does go past the 6. And it's almost as if LS3's come to the table here and saying, well, you know, this is how you're going to have to be dealing with these tables, Linus, because she's about to show you how to do it. Now that might have gone a bit straight. No, it's fine. The little angle is there. Well, you can go the 3 rails. It seems the most obvious route. Or you can dig in. Looks as if she's coming back. No, she's gone 3 rails. So it's double figures for LS3. 8 rack lead. Still, well, she's gone even more central now. I think LS3 in their last 3 breaks has all been dry. And this is the thing I spoke about at the beginning. I think a lot of players are going to struggle to find anything that's reliable as a break. I mean, at the end of the day, you can only experiment. You know, one thing isn't working, you try something else, but now you're limited to how much you can try by the restrictions of this break box. Well, the one will cut into the side, the 2 isn't going anywhere unless it's a corner. In fact, he was actually hooked. Well, this is going to be a quick rack because the 1 ball LS3 staring down into the side, and it's going to be the 2-9 combo for an 11-2 lead. I think a ball went that time. Yeah, the 3 ball has gone. Now, what about a little... I don't know whether she can get that thin enough to try and billiard the 9 in, but it could be a 2-in-1 shot here. Try and thin the 1. No, she's actually missed the 1. But I think that was maybe what she had in mind here, trying to catch the 1 thin enough to try and billiard the 9 in up the rail. So again, it's a gift of an opportunity here for LINUS. Now, he's got to go below this 5 ball. 6 balls blocking the pocket. He's got to get below it and miss it. And that will do it. Now, he's slightly inside. So again, he's got a dead straight 8 ball. Now, I think this is all about judging the weight. Needs to keep running. So rack number 3 in the board on LINUS. Well, he's still sticking with this top right hand corner of the break box. It's worked that time as far as a ball goes. The 7 ball's going in as well. But the 9 hasn't moved an inch, I don't think. Well, problem here is too much of an angle on the 2 ball. Trying to hold the pace off the cue ball, but it's going to keep running and keep running. And this is a problem as well. Limited by the amount you can see the 3. And that 3 ball isn't close enough to the rail. So this is going to be cut. But the problem isn't the 6 ball, because it does go. So it's just about getting down onto that 6 ball. LS3 should already have looked at that and seen that you don't have to bump anything, you just have to go over to the left hand side. Now that was a bit stupid. Well, I'm going to put that down as a numpty shot of the day from LS3, because there is no way on this earth she should have been anywhere near that 6 and 9. That was a bit stupid. Now that needs to slow up. And what's more important now is that Linus does take advantage of this. Now he's got to go back across for this 9 ball. I don't think you can try and hold that, can you? Is he going to try and hold it? Well, that hasn't worked out great either. This is one of these dodgy ones, the dead easy ones that Steve talks about. And LS3 might have got off the hook there. And Linus is going to get another easy opportunity now to get another rack in the board. Yeah, that I mean, when we were talking about LS3, I think Bedhead spoke about it. She's picked up her game, but little instances like that with the 6 and 9 ball, there is no way she should have been anywhere near the 6 and 9 for a start. And little shots like that are what keep you from getting to that next level. I mean, you should have seen that coming. I mean, the whole idea was to get round behind that 6 to play it in by the top right hand corner. So the first thing you make sure you're doing is you put the cue ball nowhere near the 6 and 9. And it cost her the rack in the end. Now that's been checked up. Now again, let's have a look. See, you just want to stun across for this 8 ball so that you're off the rail and you can get in behind the 9. See, he's chickening out and you end up doing stupid stuff like that. You see, that's not playing a shot with confidence and therefore not playing the right shot. It's trying to chicken out and let it roll in. You've got to play the shot to get out for the 8 ball here so that you're coming in behind the 9. Now, that shot by Linus was not thought out at all. And there was no confidence in it whatsoever. This is the thing I keep talking about. Whatever you do, you've got to play the right shot. If you start chickening out and playing these little roll shots to try and just try and make sure you get in the ball, rather than playing the right shot to get in the ball. And that's a rack gifted back to LS3 there. Good afternoon to Lard. So this rack is going to be decided with a 2 and 3 ball being tied up. Whoever can pot the 1 and get a bump somewhere along the line, because there's no real advantage in potting the 1 at the moment. Certainly not where it is. Well, how does that 3-ball look as if it might go 3 rails? That's just going to open up the 2. Well, LS3 has to make a decision here. Is she going to stay up top and leave the cut in the 8-ball and go up and down for the 9? Or is she going to try and get down in this bottom rail here behind the 9-ball? I think she's going to stay top side here and leave the cut in the 8-ball and go up and down. But now that she's got such a shallow angle on this 8, she'll just dink it in. Doesn't need to go up and down. That's perfect. Well, I say dink it in. So it's now a 9-rack lead. Going down the centre line. Again, it's dry. Now the 5-ball's hanging over the side pocket. No harm in having a bank on the 1 onto the 5. Now let's have a look. Slightly the wrong side of the 1-ball. And that's a good shot. That's well done.
Let's watch the replay of that last shot.
Maybe, I mean, the idea was to try and get in the 3-ball, but at that pace, slightly offline, it still hangs up in this table. Well, what do you do now, LS3? Let's have a look from this end. I don't know what she's trying here. I'll try to duck. Well, again, wide open table, Linus. Now again, he must be thinking, he's got to be thinking about being on the right side of this 7-ball. And that's way too straight. That'll do. We've got to get up top of the 8-ball. So respectability is what Linus is aiming for here. It wouldn't do him any harm if he got a ball and a shot here either. That would help. Oh, good enough break. But nothing doing. Quit mute while I have a cough. LINUS that time at least didn't leave anything easy on after the break there for LS3. But I think he'd want another go at that shot because that was poor. It was fine if he had missed the 5, I think. Somewhere over towards the 6 ball. Oh, she's checked that too much and got away with it, I think. Well, it doesn't go into the side, so it's down into this corner. Now you see the pace that went in it when it rattled in the jaws. So the chances are this 7 ball should be going into the same pocket as a 6, depending on how LS3 finishes on the 6. Well, I think the idea might have been to try and play that 6 ball into the side, but now it's gone straight on it. Oh, well, it's another mistake from LS3 and a chance for LINUS to get another rack in the board here. Well, that's going to sort of no man's land. Let's have a look. Oh, that'll do, that's fine. Just dink it in. But again, going back to that shot there, LS3, again, my thinking would have been to try and play that 6 ball into the side. It gives you much easier to control to get onto the 7. And, you know, again, it's just another little instance where the positional play, had it been right on the mark, the rack would have been over. And it's just a couple of little instances like that where she's just gone a bit haywire, just a bit out of line, that's cost her racks because of it. And, you know, as the tournament goes on, you're going to get picked up on those a lot more, and you're going to get a lot more punishment probably from things like that deeper into the tournament. There's a 1-5 combo here. But it needs to be gentle enough so the 1 ball isn't leaking away. And that's well done. Now the problem starts. You're pretty much straight on this 1 ball. And you've really just got to hope you judge the draw well enough off the 1. That needs to keep going. I'm not sure whether that was an attempt to play it into the side or to play it into the corner, but it's sort of on in the side and he's overcut that by a country mile. And that was not great. You end up kicking yourself. And that's the problem with that shot. Dead straight in the one, you have to rely on the draw and rely on controlling the pace to get onto a spot. Ended up it wasn't great either way, but he certainly did not read the angle in the cut. Well, this looks as if it's a little drop to the right here off this 7. I think there might be enough angle on it, I'm not sure. Yeah, there is. Just get into the cue ball a bit too much there though. And there you go. You see what happens? You get to that little testy angle. Now Linus can pinch another one here. Now you see he hasn't played that with any great conviction either, because if you're going to play it, you're going to cut it so that you come in and down and out and around and open up the 9 ball. Now he's got himself in a hole and had to recover. Well, he's got to 7. Well, I don't think he had any amp on that, because even though the balls have opened, there wasn't much momentum doing there in that break. Well, LS3 called the push out and potted the 3, and she's just asking for trouble there. Linus has put her back in. Well, that's not bad. It's certainly nothing easy here for Linus. And again, there's a perfectly good opportunity here to look for cover at distance, try and get up behind that 9 ball. He's went the other way, and that needs to stick to the rail. I don't know whether he could have got up to that 9 ball behind her, avoiding the 7 ball, but that was the idea that LS3 had there. And well, that's not great. The cut is on. Now this needs to bump something here, Linus. And that's you've got to play for. You've got to play for the bump off the 7 or the 5. And you don't need to blast this 1 ball. Now he's digging in here to try and avoid things with the look of it. Now I'm not sure what he played. I have no clue what that was. He'll probably settle for the result. But I don't know what was attempted there. LS3 went for the bank. Now Linus has got to find the gap here. You cut the 1 and you've got to find the gap. Now that's way too heavy. That's about 3 foot too much weight in the cue ball, because he wanted to finish somewhere in this gap here, and he's ran down here by 3 foot. Where's the cue ball going? It's LS3 lining up the cut, or is she just banking up the table? Excuse me. Now this is a good jump cut shot in the 2 ball. I don't know what Linus is like with the jump cue. We're about to find out. Well, and like me, he needs a hell of a lot more practice. He definitely does. So LS3 with a 13 racks to 7 lead, going a bit too straightish on this 4 ball. Now I'm not exactly clear where she was actually trying to play to there, whether she was trying to run through and open out on the 5, but that's not great either. And she's going for the cut in the side. She might have got away with this here. Yeah, it's not finished anything easy for Linus. We'll take that though. Now you've got to get into the cue ball here. You don't want to be just letting it run loose. And again, you know, Linus is his main problems, like everybody who moves back to this 9-foot table is judging the pace. But a good recovery. He's playing 10-foot table power when he should be playing 9-foot, because he's been playing cowboy with us in the mornings recently, and that's exactly what he's doing. He's playing 10-foot weight when he should be playing 9-foot weight. He's so used to it. But it's another rack in the board, and suddenly he's only 5 behind when he was 9 behind at one time. But it's dry. LS3 will be going for the bank, I've no doubt. It's a good bank in the 1 ball, and it's going to be a 2-6 combo if she can get any sniff of this 2 ball. Oh, hang on a minute. Oh, I thought that was going to go straight through and combo the 6 in there. Well, Linus has got a little bit of roll of the ball there. But LS3's managed to catch the 1 and just catch that 6 with the 1. Now, can she spin in behind the 7 and avoid the traffic and get around and out? It looks a bit tight to me. Yeah, couldn't avoid the 7. But if she's going to duck for cover, now's a good time to do it. You've got to avoid the 5 ball though. Is she going for the bank as well? Yeah, she's going all out. But then you've got to rely on getting lucky and getting on that next ball. Now what do you do? Well, I think you can overcut the 3 and bump it to the rail in behind the 9 and 7 and duck for cover. I think you can do that. I think you can certainly overcut the 3, send it in there, and get the cue ball running down this way. I think that's a possibility. That's what she's gone for. But it hasn't worked. What that needed to do was to get a bump on something there to hold it behind one of them. Well, if only Linus had hit that a bit harder, he might have bunted that 9 ball in. Now he's got himself in an awkward spot here, but yeah, that was always going to be difficult. Queuing over that ball. Well, the only thing about that here, Pig, is how was she going to get the cue ball behind the 9? You look at the cut angle she had on the 3 ball, you talking about going inside on the left side of the 3 and cutting the 3 up the table, is that what you're talking about? I don't know whether she had enough. Maybe she could have. I think the only thing that went wrong with the shot is it didn't bump into the 9. Yeah. Well, it's there was a glimmer of hope there for Linus. Had he got that awkward pot there, he could have suddenly been back to within 4. But LS3's preserved their lead. Suppose the next target for Linus now is to get to double figures, if he can. Well, that 8 ball needs to go out of the way. LS3 has got a ball in the break at the last second there. But no shot. Well, I don't know whether you can pot this and let the cue ball run across and not be on top of the 2 ball. Yeah, you see, I would have been more inclined to dig into the cue ball there and try and keep it bottom side of the 2. Well, the one thing's for certain, I don't think this 2 balls has got enough room. I don't think it has. No, it's not going to be quite as easy to try and line this up here. The way that finished. Well, you can go for the reverse bank in the 2 ball, but it's all or nothing if you do. And if you're going to overcut it, it needs to stay in that top rail. Well, LS3's got a problem. This is no way is this easy queuing over the 5. Cue ball's going to be running up and down. You just got to hope you have a half decent shot on the 3. Well, it's bumped to 3 and it's scratched. Well, Linus has got ball in hand here. And the one thing I'd be saying here, I've got to take a risk. I've got to bump this 8 and 5 and try and still have a shot in the 4. Well, he's bumped the 8 and 5. He's not really got a shot in the 4 though. Needs to spin in behind the 6. And that'll do it. It was always risky, but if he was going to try and run this rack, he had to immediately take the risk of bumping that 5 and the 8 ball to try and open them up. And then just having to hope he would still have a shot on the 4. Now, is that getting to the rail? Yes, it has. Well, this is tough. And that may well be the shot that loses the rack. And this has got to go, well, anywhere but there. Now, I was about to say this has got to go forward with left English and around and stay in the middle of the table for the cut in the 5. LS3 tried to draw back. The angle wasn't great. And Linus now has a gift of an opportunity, but this is not easy. He must leave a decent angle in this 8 ball, and again, that is not great either. I mean, you know, he's just not getting to the cue ball at all. Well, good luck with getting onto the 8 ball, that's what I was going to say. And again, there's no way he should have been messing that up. And that, I think LS3 is going to go for the blasty cut in the 6 here. Yeah, and the scratch. So now, Linus, ball in hand. How do you keep this as simple as possible for Linus? The problem is it's tight to the rail pretty much, this 8 ball. So, you've had. What the hell's he doing here? Now again, he wants to, he's putting. I don't know whether he's made his mind up, but he's trying to just come back. That'll do it. Well, he's got out of jail. And he's back to within 5. And a ball in the break. Well, now would be a perfect time for Linus to find his feet and find his pace and run this table. Because this would then start the alarm bells ringing in LS3. Does that go past the 8? Yes, it does. Now, if he just runs forward and bumps into the 8, that won't be a problem. He doesn't want to skim past it and run into the pocket. He's fine as far as that goes. And now, I think he can go past the 6 and come back up. But he hasn't made the cut in the 4. He had his eyes 2 ways there. He was eyeing up the cut in the 4 and eyeing up where the cue ball was finishing in the 6. And he didn't either. He didn't get the cut and he didn't get the pace right. Hang on a minute here. LS3 has got a whopper there because I think she played the cut in the 4. And what a roll. Gets a fluke in the 6 ball. This 4 ball is fairly tight though. Well, you know, all of a sudden Linus could have been on double figures there, and LS3 has got a whopper of a roll there. And Stubb gets himself muted. Because Steve came in the room. Steve must have just fallen out of bed. What is it, 9:15 in the morning his time? Or something like that. What the hell time is it? Is that 2:15? Yes, it is. So LS3 is 4 away. The break is dry. Linus looking for a safety. Now, while he's messing about here, let's have a quick look at the match schedule. There are 6 matches remaining, and out of these that are on today, I'll be back later on tonight for the match between Billy Bigrigger and Spectre Dawn, and that's going to be 8:30 tonight. I'm not at work tomorrow, so that's fine for me. There's other matches before it, but I won't be doing any of them. The match between Billy Bigrigger and Spectre Dawn will be the match, and then we've got Snake Eyes and Quagmire tomorrow morning at 7 AM. Well, that's on tomorrow, but I'll be wanting a game of Cowboy if there's a game on, so I probably won't do that either. But Mr. Bill and Albinario on Friday night at 6:30, I'll be there for that one. Everything going according to plan. Meanwhile, we've got Linus with ball in hand, and I think this is where, if he's going to make a move, now's the time to make a move. That's gone too straight, I think. Well, he's got an angle the other way. So again, just got to get the pace right. Now you've got two choices here. You go forward. See, he's gone forward, but you've got to get the pace. Now again, that's 10-foot pace as opposed to 9-foot pace. You could either have gone forward or dug into the cue ball and just come back, and that would have been the more controlled shot to get on the 7. Oh, what a whopper that is, but he's scratched as well. It's all gone downhill rather rapidly for Linus there. But again, it was just down to that cue ball controlling and seeing the right shot to play. When he's relying on running the cue ball and his pace and the running of the cue ball is not great, then the better shot for him would have been to get into the cue ball and hold it and come back off the 7. You've got to know your limitations, and Linus's limitation is his pace, because he's not finding the proper pace. So he should have just dug in there and got a hold of the cue ball, and that way the surefire certainty was going to be a shot in the 7. Well, I haven't a clue what that was. Good afternoon to Paul. Again, you know, it's so easy to be critical, but to come to Linus's defence, it's the same thing for a lot of players where they don't play an awful lot. And I don't think Linus, I don't know, I mean, he is on in the mornings, I know that. He's been on the last couple of weeks and he's been playing Cowboy. We've been playing Cowboy doubles and Linus has been there. But what other stuff he plays, other than that, I haven't a clue. But you can definitely see that he's been more used to adjusting to the pace on the 10-footer than he has the 9-footer. Most of his shots have been overhit. He's getting too much into the cue ball. He's overrunning by a couple of feet in quite a few of the shots. That just needs to keep going. It needs to keep going. Now he's underhitting it. And again, with this here, you just want to get into the cue ball. And now he's gone inside. Now, no sooner have I said he's overhitting him, now he's underhitting him. Well, that's a good shot. Where's the cue ball going? I think he's fine.
Let's watch the replay of that last shot.
That's an excellent shot in the 9. Well, he has got to double figures, so I'll give him that. Where's the cue ball going this time? Now I need to remember where John Virgo is. Hang on a minute.
Where's the cue ball going?
There he is. Trying to remember all my buttons. So LS3, once again with a table that's just clamouring to be run out. Got to get top side of the 4, and she hasn't got there. So now you've got to avoid the traffic, and even if she runs around and bumps into the 9, she's still bound to have a shot on the 5. You just don't want to bump into the 6. Well, she's gone a much shallower angle, so it is the long distance cut, but this is all just about judging the pace. Now it's what you want to try and do with the cue ball that's important here, because you want to go either side of this 6 ball. Doesn't matter what side you're on, as long as you're on a side that gives you an open shot in the 6. And that's just gone a bit too heavy. Well, it still will cut, I think. The cue ball's running all over the place here. And now the more I look at it, there's no way that's cutting. Or is it? Well, it might still cut, but the cue ball's blasting it around every angle on the table here. And if that keeps rolling, Linus will be licking his lips here. Now, I think it's much better if you let this run down and bump back into the table. It needs to bump higher than that, though. It needs to keep going. And that will do. And, stranger things have happened in pool. He's not necessarily within touching distance yet, but a roll of the ball here or there, and you never know. Now you see he's got that cue ball going forward, and he hasn't learned his lesson from the last break he had, because he ended up scratching. Well, the 7-2 is a combo, you see, like that, and LS3 was obviously trying to pot the 1 and get to the 2-7, because the 2 was dead in the pocket. Now she's missed the 1, but got the combo, but got no shot in the 1. Now, where do you duck for cover here? I think it's difficult to try and place this 1 ball somewhere where LS3 is not going to be able to see it. Well, again, it's run all around the table. He'll settle for that. But if the rolls start going in your favour, then you never know. Well, Linus can't get to the 1. Oh, this might just hold the rail, and it will do. And he's on the 3. No, you see what I said about getting a roll of the ball and things happening. Now, this is a crucial rack now, because the table is wide open, and Linus needs to keep his head here. And he's got the angle in the 4, and he can either just come out. Now he's coming. No sooner have I said it, he can either just come out, or he's trying to get right down onto the 5 into the side. He should have just come out, because the 5 was wide open. Now what do you do? Well, He's trying to get cute. Now, is LS3 going to be going all aggressive here and trying to bank the 5? When there's a perfectly simple safety shot on, she's going all out for it, I think, or she's trying to get behind the 6. Looks as if she's going for the bank. And you see that one's, oh, what another roll of the ball there for LS3.
Let's watch a replay of that last shot.
Would you believe it? That stub luck there, right there, that shot. That is stub luck. This 8 ball looks fairly tight as well. Let's have a quick look. It's off the rail. Well, she certainly learnt it. If you ask her to explain how to do it again, I'm sure she wouldn't have a clue. Well, it's probably inevitable now. LS3 within 2, 17 racks to 11 lead. Definitely a dry break. The 2 ball is awkward where it's sitting behind the 4 ball. Now, of course, the cue ball being stuck to the bottom rail, it limits how much you can get to the cue ball to do anything with it. Well, Linus should be in trouble here in a minute. Because if LS3 can get down behind the 5 and then behind the 2 and 4 like that, it'll give a bit of a problem for Linus to deal with. And the only thing he doesn't want to do is blast at this 1 ball and bump open the 2 and 4. I don't think that's going to happen. And I'm not convinced whether he can he get to the edge of the 1 from there? No. So LS3 has the problem to deal with. So the 7 ball blocks the path of the 2 into this bottom left hand corner. We can see that. What's the value in actually potting the 1? Well, it would be that if you can get down to the bottom of this 2 and 4, or do that and try and get a breakout, well, she's fluked to 4 and now she's in trouble. Well, again, that 6 ball, if it had the legs, it would have went. Now, Linus has a bank on the 2. I think I would have went for the bank one way or another, because again, you've got to be really hoping you get lucky and getting safe. Well, I don't think she's playing the combo. I think she's potting this past the 7. There's half a pocket there. No, she went for the combo. Well, maybe she should have went for the pot, because this 2 ball is going to be a cut into the side. But again, Linus is limited by being pretty much stuck to the rail. So he's letting the cue ball just run forward and hoping he gets lucky, he gets on the 3. See, that's no good. I think he had to jack up there and try and get as much out of the cue ball as he could. And that, I don't think, is that a cover? No, it isn't. Excuse me. What a cut that was. No luck with position though. Well, you can play the double kiss here in the 5, get back up the table. Or you can go for the really thin edge. Well, you see that? That's not thin enough. I mean, that's a bedhead cut from distance, but Linus has got to, he's got to pick this out. Got to go for it. And, well, he needs to fluke the 9 like that.
Let's watch the replay of that.
Well, that was all in the plan, wasn't it? You know, play the 5 and play the combo in the 9 ball. So Linus is back to within 5. He's had another dry break. And a good little jump from LS3. But straight away, he's going to have to kick at the 2. Didn't pick the angle, hit the 3, and has opened everything up here. And suddenly, again, if Linus gets himself switched on, I think he's got to get lucky straight away here and get on this 3, because he's got to get the control right and the pace. And again, he's hit it with sledgehammer weight, 10-foot weight to a 9-foot table, and he's in no man's land with no shot. Well, even if LS3 jumps this and hits the 3, she can't get to the 3 to pot it anyway. It's too tight to the 5. But that 5 might go in off the 4. It might go clean like that. And now LS3 under a bit of pressure here, because this 3 ball will cut up the rail. And she may well be inclined to have a go at this. And she knows that if she misses it and leaves this on, with the 4 ball where it is, that's a good shot. That's an excellent shot.
Let's watch the replay of that last shot.
Well, once again, just drop the 6 in. That's just leaked away a wee bit further than she wanted. Now it's a wee bit awkward. This should have been just a straight roll into the side pocket. Now the cue ball is running. Well, she'll be on the hill in a second or two. Well, I said early on, Linus would be lucky if he got 6, but I think, you know, he was given enough opportunities, and if he had actually taken the other opportunities he had, this match could have been a whole different ball game. But just when LS3 wanted a decent break, she certainly got it there. The 1 ball is gone, the 4's gone, the 8's gone. Gone for the little bump in the 5 and the 6, but no joy in holding in the 3. Well, she's going to jack up and have a go at it, but this is dead straight. The chances are, unless she gets a bump off the rail and gets out, she might not see the 5. Well, again, all you need to do is cut the 3 and come down the table. Anywhere on the right side to see the 5. Dead straight in the 5 though. Again, what do you do here, Linus? Are you digging in to come back? Just hold it. Yeah. Well, of course, Linus is in last chance saloon from here on in. Again, he's stuck himself to the rail, but it's a fairly straight in 9. To once again get back to within 5, but he's got to win everything now from here on in. And that doesn't help. Coming up dry. And LS3 is going to try and kick this in off the long rail. Cue ball will be spinning around. Well, do you try and line up the combo in the 5? I mean, it's nowhere near set, but you can certainly line it up. That's what she's gone for. And she's landed back out on the 2. And again, if you just stun it in and stun across, you're on the 3. And well, she's actually drawn into that way too much. And again, it's another fiddly little cut in the 3 ball. And you've got to avoid running into the corner. Well, it's another opportunity for Linus now. Again, with this shot, he should, I mean, can he just, oh, he needs to get right down the table and needs to slow up though. Well, I don't think, do you want to try and get really cute and cut this into the side? I don't think so. I think you've got to watch the scratch on the opposite side when you try and come across for the 6. Yes, he is trying to dink it into the side. And he can think himself lucky that he's left it like that, as far as not leaving an open shot for LS3. Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. Goodness me. That's the 3rd one the LS3's had in this match.
Let's watch the replay of that last shot.
All at crucial times. Well, maybe there is justice has been done there. Well, Linus is looking at a 7-9 combo, and if he doesn't get this, he's going to look a proper numpty here. But he's got it. And he survives another rack when it should have been over. He's back to within 4. Again, that cue ball running forward. And again, it's dry. And suddenly LS3's blasting at balls here. I think she's sort of lost her way a wee bit. It's another scratch. It's a big ask here for Linus. But he does have ball in hand to try and run this table and stay alive for at least another rack. It's a tall order for him, because I don't think he has ran a rack in this match. I think he's potted 4 or 5 balls to win a rack, but I don't think he's actually run a rack. Certainly not from ball in hand, he hasn't. But we're about to find out if he can, and this is a perfect time to do it as well. And he knows that if he makes one mistake here, it's sayonara to the one loss side. Now again, he's just gone that wee bit too far. It's now gone outward. Cue ball is just managing to hold its line. Now, let's have a look. Oh, it's now awkward again. Yeah, he knows what he wants to do. It's about executing the shot, though. That 8 ball looks a bit of a hindrance if you're trying to go to the side rail and come back. Well, he's trying to leave it at distance, and that is it. Trying to leave the long 7. And LS3 is going to get over the line. Well, I think after the first half a dozen racks there, I think LS3 was expecting to win anyway. Because I don't think she's played LINUS an awful lot. I'm assuming she hasn't. And I don't think the concentration was as much for her as it probably would have been against somebody that she knows and knows that she can't get away with a lot of stuff. So she's gone over the line by 19 racks to 14. It's all about staying focused to the very end to getting the job done. But I'll tell you, she had a fair roll of the ball there, and at least 3 of those racks she ended up winning. And she definitely lost her way. She said, lost my head completely halfway. And in the end, that's what let Linus sort of back into it. Okay, he was never really in it, but he certainly got the score respectable. 19 racks to 14 is nothing to be ashamed about against LS3, but she's going to have to not just step up her game, but stay with it for the duration, because she knows against anybody else that she might meet in the tournament, whoever that might be, we're about to find out, then the punishment will be a lot more severe. So that's LS3 now through to round 3. Where is she? And, well, if we look at the way the bracket is, we've got Spectre. It's not going to be easy for LS3, put it that way. We've got Billy Big Rigger playing Spectre Dawn later tonight, and the winner of that match will play Stubb. And then the winner of that match is going to be playing LS3 in round 3. So LS3 knows immediately that today isn't good enough. The next match she plays, she's got to stay on the ball, on the focus all the way, because it ain't going to be easy. That's the one thing to guarantee. So that is our match for this afternoon. I'm going to get this thing to go back. So I say there's other matches on this afternoon or earlier this evening. We've got a match at 6:30 with Bankster and Jova. We've got Graysley and Roisin, 8 o'clock. But the match I'll be back for later on is Billy Big Rigger and Spectre Dawn, and that is at 8:30 tonight. And I'll be there for that. I hope you can join us. So thanks for joining, guys. It's good to be back. I managed to hold together, and I hope you can join us later on for the match at 8:30 tonight. Remember, if you can't, it'll be on the YouTube channel. Any matches I do stream, they'll always be archived on there. They'll be on Twitch, but they won't be there for that long because they get removed after 14 days. So if you want to review any of them, go to YouTube. You'll always see them there. Right, I'm going to go and get something to eat, and I'll be back later. No, I'm not. I'm going to go and get something to eat, watch a bit of the snooker, and then I'll be back later on. So take care. See you again soon.
Don't make mistakes here. We just have happy accidents.